up, guys? Vinny Boy is here today with another video in the Football Guide series. We're going to talk about football positions. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, I already have these labeled. We're just going to go over them and talk about what they do and their acronym. So if you play football and you're new to the sport, this is a perfect video for you to get better understanding of each position. So we'll start with the offensive line. These are the guys that block out and block these guys so they can't make a play in the backfield or sack the quarterback, which means they run behind the line and tackle the quarterback, the guy with the ball, who typically throws. So this guy right here is the tight end. He can run passes, he usually blocks, or he can even run a reverse depending on your team's playbook. So he's labeled TE for tight end. If you're in doubt about any acronyms, just if they're two words, just label them the first two words. So in this case, tight end, TE. But if they only have one word, like some of these guys right here, just label them with that first word, the first letter in that first word. Okay. So this guy right here, where my cursor's at, is the offensive tackle. He's not labeled OT or anything. He's just labeled T for tackle. I guess you could label him OT, but we're not going to in this video. So he usually blocks the defensive tackle or sometimes goes out and gets a linebacker. He is one of the most important players on the offensive line beside the guard. He's very protective of the quarterback. You'll see him block some of the biggest guys, some of the 400-pound guys. He's also pretty big himself, but he is a main blocker on your offense. So we'll label him T. Now, this is the guard. He is the guy right next to the center who is labeled C, and he blocks, again, sometimes either the nose guard, or if the center has the nose guard covered, he'll go out and get a linebacker up here. Again, if you're going and you're watching this video and I'm talking way too fast or something like that, just drop a comment below. But if I'm explaining something and I have to use another position's name, just remember that we'll get to that in the future in this video. So we're going to label him guard, and his acronym is G. So we'll label him G for short for guard. Now this guy right here, he's the center. He is the guy who snaps the ball to the quarterback. He starts with the ball in his hand and he flicks it back to the quarterback. He is very, very important. I cannot stress to you how important he is. He blocks, again, some of the biggest guys, nose guards. They're super, super big guys. So he blocks him. And again, he's center, so the first letter in the word center is C, so we're going to label him C. Now, this guy over here is, again, the guard. So now it's just going to kind of repeat. So you have center, guard, guard, tackle, tackle, tight end, tight end. So he is labeled G again for guard. There's no difference between the two other than this guy is considered the blind side guard if you have a right-handed quarterback. So generally they'll put the better blocker on the left side to protect the quarterback from those big hits from behind. So again, guard, guard, tackle, tackle, tight end, tight end. So we have those labeled already. Now we're going to go over the wide receivers. They're abbreviated WR, and they run routes. They sometimes block. It's not that common, but they can do basically whatever they need to do. They'll get reverses sometimes, and I'll go over that in a separate video. Those are some pretty cool trick plays. But they'll run passes. They'll block the cornerback if it's a run play. They do all types of stuff. Usually they're super skinny and really, really fast, and sometimes extremely tall. You might see them on TV all the time when they're catching passes, like Odell Beckham Jr. He's a wide receiver, Antonio Brown, people like that. So he's labeled WR for wide receiver. There's two wide receivers, so this guy is also labeled WR. You can line up in the 3 or 4 back spot, but we'll go over 3, 4, 2, 1 backs in a separate video. But those guys are super important. Don't forget them. Okay, this guy is the quarterback. He is the captain of the offense generally. He runs the show. He is super, super, super important. Now, He gets the ball from the center and either hands it to the running back down here, or he throws it to one of the wide receivers or even the tight end occasionally. Tight ends are a growing position, so they get the ball more and more these days. They never used to, but now they're starting to get the ball more. Like Jason Witten, you might not know him if you're watching this video, but Google him, look into him. He's a super great tight end. He plays for the Cowboys. So, again, we're going to label him QB, quarterback. First letter in both of those words, QB. So this guy back here, he is also known as the two-back, but for this video, he's called the running back. Now, he can get the ball from the quarterback. Usually you'll see him run if the quarterback hands it off to him. He scores a lot of touchdowns. He does a lot of stuff. He can even catch passes, block, but he's labeled RB for running back. Now, I'm going to go over the defense in a little bit less depth because, if you're playing football, the offense is not necessarily more important, but you need to know more about the offense. The defense is just trying to make the tackle do their job. So, we'll start on the line like we did with the offense. This guy is called the defensive end. He is the guy who lines up and usually contains. He goes in and then right here. Or if you're farther up and you're, say, in high school, sometimes he just crashes and rushes the quarterback, and you see him get a lot of sacks that way. So DE. This guy is the defensive tackle. He is also over here, just like the defensive end is over here and here. Just like with the tight end, there's generally two of these positions. So D tackle, just basically he blocks the tackle, tries to get to the quarterback, sack him, make a play in the backfield, all that kind of stuff. He is a big part in the defense. That's why there's two of them, I guess. And this guy is the nose guard. He lines up right over the center, and he blocks the center. He's really, really big. He's labeled NG, just like he's labeled DT. Again, that acronym thing is super simple. First letter, and if there's two words, NG, D tackle, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so NG, and then here's the D tackle. He is the guy, again, as we talked about over here, same thing. He doesn't do anything differently than that guy. And then another defensive end, just like over here, again, he doesn't do anything differently. So this guy is the cornerback. He will cover the wide receiver. So if the wide receiver goes out for a pass, he'll go with him and try to stop him from catching a pass or stuff like that. So he'll generally go with him and cover him. Again, CB, cornerback. These are mostly compound words. Okay. This guy is also a cornerback, so we'll label him CB again. Okay. Now, these guys are very important parts of the defense. They're the linebackers, and then up here is the safety. So, linebackers right here, he's labeled LB or LOLB for left outside linebacker. That's very complicated, so for this video, we're just going to label them LB for linebacker. Now this guy, we're going to label a little bit differently. He is the middle linebacker. He is the guy who will stop anything from here to here. If the ball is ran through there, that's his job. So we're going to label him MLB for middle linebacker. Now this guy, again, is technically the right outside linebacker, but again, that's kind of complicated with the acronym labeling, so we're going to label him LB. Now, on to the last guy in the defense. I'm going to squeeze him in real quick. Safety, pretty important part. He just kind of goes with the flow of where the offense is going, so we're just going to label him S for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time on the video. Again, help me out by dropping a like, slapping that subscribe button. If you didn't like anything, be sure to drop it in the comments below. Thanks for listening.